So today we're going to talk about how to hack your brain for language fluency. We're going to dive into a little bit of brain science that can turn the huge challenge of learning a new language into something that feels, less like a chore and a whole lot more like play.
Okay, first things first. Why is learning a new language so hard? You know the feeling, right? You start out all excited, you download the app, you buy the books, and then, bam, reality hits. And it's a feeling a lot of us know all too well.
I mean, does any of this look familiar? You spend hours staring at these huge vocabulary lists, and then the next day, poof, the words are gone. Or that knot in your stomach the second you have to actually speak to someone. Or maybe you're just trying to keep up with a conversation that sounds like it's stuck on fast forward. Yeah, it's super frustrating, and pretty much everyone goes through it. But here's a crazy thought. What if the problem isn't you? What if it's not about how much effort you're putting in or whether you have the language gene? What if the real problem is that the traditional methods, cramming flashcards, are actually fighting against your brain's natural wiring? And that's really what we're getting at here. We're not talking about studying harder. We're talking about studying smarter. We're going to look at some techniques that actually work with your brain's natural circuitry, not against it. Think of them as cheat codes for fluency. Okay, so our first set of brain hacks is all about supercharging your memory. I mean, what's the point of learning a word if you can't remember it in a real conversation, right? And the secret, it turns out, is to stop trying to memorize dry facts and start telling yourself stories. This amazing tool is called a mnemonic. See, our brains are hardwired for stories, not for random bits of data. And the science is clear on this. The weirder, the crazier, the more emotional the story is, the better it sticks in your head. All right, you ready to try one? Let's take the Spanish word triste. How in the world do we make this one unforgettable? Okay, step one, find an English phrase that sounds kind of like it. Triste sounds a lot like triste. Its meaning is sad. So now we just have to build a little story to link triste with the feeling of being sad. Okay, so I want you to picture your favorite tree, maybe one from your childhood. Now, imagine you have to move away. And the tree, it actually starts crying. It's trying to pull its roots out of the ground to come with you, but it can't. It's completely heartbroken. It's sad because, well, trees stay. That weird emotional little movie you just played in your head, that's what locks the word in place. And seriously, this works for pretty much anything. For puedo ver, I can see, just imagine a giant Play-Doh bear suddenly appears out of nowhere. That little jolt of surprise is what makes it stick. Or for encontrar, which means to find. Picture yourself finding a secret love note written with ink on a drawer. And this one's kind of gross but memorable. For tan, meaning sew, imagine a guy who wants a tan so badly that he literally sews pieces of tanned skin onto his own body. See, the weirder, the better.
All right, so stories are amazing for our visual brain. But what about the rest of us? What about our bodies? Our next hack is all about getting physical, because it turns out movement is basically a memory superpower.
This method has a name. It's called Total Physical Response, or TPR for short. And the idea is incredibly simple. You link a new word to a physical action. So when you learn the word for jump, you actually jump. When you learn eat, you pretend to eat. And there's some really cool science behind why this works so well. So first, you hear the word, which lights up your auditory cortex. Then you do the action, which fires up your motor cortex. And by doing those two things at the exact same time, your brain creates this super strong multisensory connection. The word isn't just a sound anymore, it's something your whole body has experienced. And the research on this, it's totally clear. Study after study shows that memory retention just skyrockets when you add physical movement to the mix. You're basically giving your brain more roads to get back to that memory later on. Now, if this whole thing sounds kind of familiar, it should, because this is exactly how little kids learn their first language. They're constantly pointing and grabbing and moving. They don't sit down with flashcards, right? They learn by doing. All we're doing here is tapping back into that powerful, natural system we all used as kids. Okay, so we've got our imagination. We've got our bodies. What's the third piece of the puzzle? Other people. Learning a language really shouldn't be a lonely solo mission. It's a team sport. Think about it. When you're practicing all by yourself, there's so much stress, so much fear of messing up. But when you learn with a small group, a cohort, it totally flips that dynamic. Suddenly, you have this psychological safety net where it's okay to make mistakes. And that shared motivation, it just pushes everyone forward way faster.
And get this, here's the really cool brain science part. Your brain has these things called mirror neurons, and they don't just fire when you do something, they also fire when you watch someone else do it. So when you're just watching your classmate practice, your brain is actually practicing right along with them. It's getting in the reps. It's like getting 2-for-1 practice for free.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've got stories, we've got movement, we've got learning with other people. So what's the big payoff? What is all of this actually doing to your brain? So you might be thinking, what do these different techniques, mnemonics, TPR, group learning, what do they all have in common? Well, it turns out they're all doing one incredibly powerful thing. They're all feeding and strengthening one very specific, very important part of your brain. And that part is your hippocampus. This little seahorse-shaped thing is basically the command center for all learning and memory in your brain. And all these techniques we've talked about, they're like the perfect gym workout for your hippocampus, making it stronger and way more efficient. And here's the thing, the benefits go way beyond just learning Spanish or French. A healthier hippocampus means you have a better memory for, well, for everything. It helps you regulate your emotions better, and it even helps protect your brain against decline as you get older. I mean, that's huge. So I really want you to let this sink in for a second. When you use these brain-friendly methods, you're not just memorizing words, you are literally upgrading your brain's hardware. You're building a brain that's stronger, more flexible, and more resilient for the long haul. Which kind of leaves us with one last big question to chew on. You know how we always say some people just have a gift for languages? What if that's just wrong? What if being good at languages isn't some magical gift you're born with, but a skill that absolutely anyone can build just by learning how to work with their brain instead of fighting against it?